Good people of Austin, what is going on? It's James Brinkman, Brink, your real estate go-to, and I'm here at Austin Sunshine Camps for a new episode of my new series, Serve Austin Sunday, featuring organizations that serve and make the Austin area a better place, and giving you fine folks an opportunity to see if you connect with the heart and story of them and would like to volunteer or give to them. Today I'm meeting with the amazing Erica Blue. I've had the great pleasure to know Erica now for several years, and she's been doing some wonderful things as CEO of Austin Sunshine Camps. Let's go inside and have a talk. So 2018 is when you came here, right?
Yeah.
So what drew you to Austin Sunshine Camp?
I've been in the nonprofit space for about 10 years before that, and have always been drawn to missions that made me feel like I was giving back to strangers that gave me something when I was younger.
Sure.
So I grew up a lot like our campers, and in between 6th and 7th grade, had a really pivotal, life-changing overnight camp experience.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So when this position opened up, I was looking for a job, and my old boss, in fact, kept sending me the link to the job description. And she kept saying, like, this is your job, you need to apply for it.
This is where you need to be.
This is where you need to be. And I thought she was half brilliant, but half crazy. So it took me a while to pay attention to her. Long story short, I came to my first interview here and was just blown away by the community, by the fact that Austin Sunshine Camps gives 500 kids the same opportunity that I was given when I was younger. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to beat whoever's in the running for this job. This is my job.
And you did.
And I did. Yeah.
You beat them. Austin Sunshine Campus has such a long history. Can you tell us about a moment or story that illustrates how it continues to make a meaningful impact on campers and their families today?
Oh, gosh.
Do you have any stories or anything you could think of?
Oh, I hate when people ask me this question because there are literally so many stories. So
right.
Austin Sunshine Camps was founded in 1928. So we just finished our 96th year of summer camp, which is pretty incredible. And there are people that talk to me almost on a daily basis about how camp has had an impact in their lives.
Sure.
And you know, just in the past month, I can tell you there were like 5 past campers that were now grown adults at our stakeholder breakfast event, just coming up to me afterwards in tears, thanking me for letting them be a part of Sunshine Camps today. One of them is a council member at the city of Austin.
That's right.
Several other are doing amazing things. There's several emails in my inbox right now from past campers, you know, off doing amazing things in the community, wanting to plug back into Austin Sunshine Camps. Literally, the stories are endless. And it's not just campers, it's past staff, it's past volunteers.
Right.
We have a person named Tim Brown, who was the president of Austin Sunshine Camps and the Young Men's Business League in 1969 and 1970.
I wasn't alive.
Yeah, and I have margaritas with him every quarter because we just sit around and we talk about what Sunshine Camps meant to him and what it's doing today. And everybody who comes across this organization has a lasting impact on their lives.
Yeah.
And,
I'm well aware of that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
me too now.
Yeah, there was something, what was I thinking? Isn't there a past camper that is now on the board?
Paul. Mosley.
He's the...
Paul's a past NFL player,
okay.
Past camper, yes.
Yeah.
And now he's on our board. Yeah,
that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and his daughter now goes to camp too, which
really?
is so cool. So kind of full circle, him being able to be a donor now, sent his kid to the camp that had such an impact on his life. He's an incredible human too.
Yeah. I've liked every interaction I've had with him so far.
Yeah, he's really cool.
Yeah, it seems like that's kind of universal for everybody. That I think that's part of the whole draw is that it draws a lot of the same people with the same hearts towards things, and they're just good people, you know?
Yeah, it's also what makes camp so special.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that gets overlooked a lot, because when we think of overnight camp, you may think of a quintessential, photo in your head of somebody canoeing down a river. But honestly, camp is this really unique place that allows us to bring down our walls that we tend to have up as humans. And very quickly, you're able to get to know somebody on a level that would probably take you years. I mean, you and I have an example of that. Like you volunteer with us on our ropes course. And so we belay together and we send kids up on the top of the ropes course. And I feel, such a stronger bond and connection with you being able to do something like that alongside you versus other people that you may meet, in your life. And it just takes a longer time to get there. And that's what makes camp's so magical, is that those walls come down and people really get to know each other on an authentic level.
Yeah. Was it a year ago, 2 years ago, you doubled the length of the camp, right?
Yeah, we just finished our third summer
It's
of
10
10 days and 9 nights.
And you made that decision because you like it?
Yeah, so camp used to be 5 days and 4 nights. And what we found is that it took the campers that we serve, who sometimes come with trust issues, have a lot of trauma in their lives.
Right.
20% of our campers have been in foster care. So coming to a strange place and spending the night takes a lot.
Yeah.
And sometimes it takes us about 4 days for them to gain trust and to feel comfortable. And at that point, it was time for them to go home. And we just saw time and time again that we didn't have the length of time we felt like we needed to make the impact we wanted to have. It was a very tough decision because it meant that we could only serve half the number of campers we used to serve.
Right.
But we thought it was really important because our goal is to play a role in that person's life, to bring them from a camper to a community leader.
Yeah.
And in order to have that deeper impact, we have to see them summer after summer and be able to have them stay here for a longer period of time. So it was that, and also following the camping industry. You know, we are accredited by the American Camp Association, and we follow a lot of what they put out and suggestions and impact of camp, and a lot of the research that they do, we follow. And so that's another suggestion that's come from the ACA is longer camp is, the deeper impact it is on kids' lives.
Yeah. And the reason I kind of thought of that is because you were talking about letting down the walls, and I can see where it was like 5 days. There's like this little tipping point moment that happens when people are around each other, and you know, and if you come in with with trust issues to begin with, or is some type of insecurity, it's going to take you a few days to feel and bond with certain people, and then be kind of, and that's kind of I'm rambling, but that's kind of the thing to me. It's kind of like you get it to a point where then they build a community. They're building their own community within that. And then when they come, it seems like some of them keep in touch during the year. They can, not like when we were growing up, write a letter and get on the phone and go around the corner from a parent. That's cool. The accreditation thing, that was a huge deal, right?
Yeah, we became accredited by the American Camp Association in 2021, which was a huge deal for us. So that's kind of the gold standard, if you will, in the industry, of making sure that you're providing the highest quality camp you can, you're keeping campers and staff safe. So it's a combination of about 200 standards that you have to meet, and they come do site visits every 3 years. So it took us, 93 years to get there. But
all
we
things
did
in
it.
time.
Yeah, and now we're really proud of that. You know, we've said that even though our camp is free, we want it to be the best camp it can possibly be for our kids, because they deserve that opportunity. And being accredited was kind of our first big step to say, we're going to do whatever we can to not only make this a free and accessible camp, but an awesome camp.
Yeah, it is an awesome camp. And I feel like you've said before, of the ones that are accredited, how many have a mission like y'all?
I honestly don't know of any that do exactly what we do. I haven't found any that are accredited and that serve the campers we serve at no cost. So if there are any, they've got to be less than 5, but I don't know of any in the country that does exactly what we do.
That's pretty amazing, right?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. What are some unique challenges you face in running a nonprofit that provides free camp experiences to underserved youth in Austin?
I think probably the biggest challenge that we face is accessibility.
Okay.
That might sound strange since we are a free camp. We do take the barrier of cost away, but there are other challenges that our families have that present challenges for us when it comes to getting buy-in, getting our families here, getting them to trust what we're doing.
Sure.
Sending your kid away for 10 days for any parent in the whole world is a very hard thing to do. It's hard for me when my kid is here and I get to come here and see her. So I deeply understand. But I think just making sure that we're constantly building trust with those families in that community, that they're able to come in and see what we're doing, that their kids are having a good time.
Right.
That's, a constant challenge that we face, just making sure that we close all those gaps between the people that we serve and the people who are helping this organization run, and all those challenges that you can see presented in our community time and time again. We have it here at Austin Sunshine Camps. But I will also say that challenge is one of the most beautiful things too at this camp and at this organization. Is it's one of the places in Austin where you can see all people come together for a certain cause.
That's cool.
And it's one of those places, few places in Austin where you can see every ethnicity represented and every socioeconomic status represented, and everybody's here for the same thing, just making sure that these kids have an awesome time and an awesome summer. And that is very uplifting and exciting, while also challenging at times.
Sure. That's great. Collaboration often plays a big role in nonprofit success. How does Austin Sunshine Camps work with other local organizations, business, or community leaders to support your mission?
Gosh, we could not do what we do without collaboration. We have 12 full-time staff, and we would not be able to put on a camp for 500 kids a year without a ton of people helping us out.
Yeah.
So collaboration is key for us. Our organization was built on and is pretty much run by volunteers. So all of the individuals and groups of volunteers that come help us, anywhere from 500 to 700 a year, help make our organization happen. As far as corporate partnerships go, we have all kinds of ways that companies can partner with us to sponsor the events that help us raise funds to send kids to camp.
Sure.
Without those sponsorships and those partnerships, we can't host these fundraisers, and therefore can't make the money we need to make.
Yeah.
Programmatic partnerships, we partnered with over 100 nonprofits and organizations last year to make our program happen. That's anything from helping us recruit kids into summer camp, as well as coming to provide programming during summer camp.
Okay.
We're lucky in Austin. I don't know if you know this, but we have the most nonprofits per capita in the whole U.S.
I did not know that. I knew we had the most amount of restaurants per capita.
Yeah, there's a ton of amazing nonprofits doing amazing work, and I think all of us on our team just try and take the approach of collaboration versus competitiveness.
Sure.
Because if we're all working together, even though we may be trying to work for the same dollars, when we work together, more good things happen. And there's 40,000 kids in Central Texas that qualify for Austin Sunshine Camps.
Wow.
We have 500 beds. So if there's another organization that we can partner with to help send the overflow, to make sure that those kids are having great experiences too, and vice versa, then to me, that's a win for everybody. So collaboration is literally everything for us.
Austin is constantly growing and changing. How has Austin Sunshine Camps adapted to the shifting dynamics of the city, especially as it impacts the communities you serve?
There are a lot of ways I think that the city and the community can help Austin Sunshine Camps and other nonprofits as Austin grows and becomes a much larger city than we're used to it being. Getting involved and making sure that we understand what is happening in our local politics, how it affects things like Zilker Park, where we have one of our camps, and how that affects the programming that we provide to the kids in a park like this. Making sure that new businesses who move into Austin understand the local landscape and the needs, making sure that we have a way to connect those new businesses with nonprofits who are looking for public-private partnerships.
Okay.
I think getting involved, like I said, in local ways to give back. There's lots of great organizations in Austin to help you plug into missions that are important to you. So I would say just making sure that folks get involved early, understand the landscape before they try and jump in and solve a problem that may not be there, or solve a problem that someone else is already trying to solve, is a really important thing to do as we grow up into this big, amazing city that we all live in.
What do you find most rewarding about your work at Austin Sunshine Camps? And what's a source of motivation for you, especially during challenging times?
What I find most rewarding at Austin Sunshine Camps are the campers we serve, hands down. When you get to see life-changing moments happen every single day, which they do at camp, it is humbling and inspiring and motivating and exciting. Makes me feel like I'm doing something good with my life. Like I said earlier, giving back to strangers that gave to me when I was younger. So by far the campers win as far as motivating and exciting goes. They're just awesome human beings, and being able to feel like you're a part of them gaining the skills they need, self-confidence, independence, appreciation for people and their differences. to be successful later in their life is so powerful and so exciting.
Yeah.
And we get to watch it like firsthand happen in their faces and with their friendships.
No joke.
And it's so cool to watch a camper show up to camp on day 1 and be really timid and scared and afraid to leave their parent. And then by day 10, just bawling because they don't want to leave here and they feel like this is their second home. And
Yeah.
it's just a really powerful thing to get to witness and be a part of. And you know, because it happened to me, that it's going to change their life forever. And they're going to think back on that time at camp forever, just like I still do as a grown adult.
For someone passionate about youth development and community service, what advice would you give about getting involved in nonprofit work?
If you're somebody who wants to get involved in youth development in Austin, there are so many great nonprofits that you can get involved with. And so for Sunshine Camps, you can go to our website and you can learn about how to volunteer and how to get involved as far as volunteering or donating, sharing your time, treasure, and talent with us. You can find out everything on our website. But I would also just encourage people to figure out what missions are meaningful to them, because that's when you're going to have the best experience. So figure out what you're passionate about, what you care about, maybe what affected you as a child, what you love doing, and go out and find nonprofits that are doing something similar, because there's a lot of us out there and a lot of folks doing good work. And so I would say find something that you're really passionate about. Yeah. The other thing I would mention is something that you alluded to earlier, which is meet the people who work there, because behind the scenes, it's just people, right? And if you have a connection with the people who are there, even more powerful, and together you're going to be able to do better work. So research missions, make sure that you care about it and that you're passionate about it, and then go meet the folks trying to achieve that mission and see if there's a connection there.
See if there's a match. Looking ahead, what upcoming projects or initiatives at Austin Sunshine Camps are you most excited about and you can talk about? And how can people support your mission if you haven't covered that?
So we have a 21,000 square foot lodge, which we're in right now in the heart of Zilka Park. And you can rent it out for all of your private events, birthday parties, weddings, staff retreats, meetings, and all of the profit that we earn through that program helps us go to send more kids to camp. So right now we have 2 locations. We serve about 500 campers a year, and we want to do more to close the gap on the 40,000 kids that qualify for our program and the 500 beds that we currently have to serve them. And so we are actively looking for partnerships and ways to collaborate with other folks who have a desire to provide overnight camp experiences to the kids that we are currently serving. And if you're excited about that, you can get a hold of me and let me know that you're excited about it, but also go to our website, sunshinecamps.org. There's ways to donate. There's ways to become a sustaining donor, which is our prized program, which allows us, our Sunshine Keepers and Campfire Keepers really allow us to take calculated risks and to do things, make investments so that we can achieve that big goal of serving more kids. But also, like I said, we run on volunteers. So being able to come out and see what this is all about and volunteer at camp would just be an awesome way to start getting involved in Austin Sunshine Camps.